Hey, hi, hello, ladies. How's it going? Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for asking. Because Bo Lueders got to have one of the best last rides that anybody has ever had in the history of the human race. And I can't wait to tell you guys all about it here today in today's video. But before we do, I'm gonna need a like. I'm gonna need a sub. And if you got some hype points, tickle those my way, why not? Oh, maybe you haven't even heard of me before. How rude of me. I need to introduce myself. My name is Dan Frampton. All one word, the O's a zero. Don't you ever forget it. And I am the internet's most ruthless gatekeeper. And I'm here to talk about something extremely heartwarming. I'm here to talk about something extremely amazing, something awe-inspiring, okay? Normally, I talk about negative things. Normally, I have to take things down a peg. That is typically what we do here on the channel because I have a job. I am the internet's most ruthless gatekeeper. That's just not a cute nickname. That is a duty, okay? That is a serious responsibility. And today, I want to tell you guys about Bo Lueders' last ride. Because a couple weeks ago, it was the saddest fucking thing ever when we all learned that Bo Lueders had passed. He was the guitar player from Harm's Way and one half of the Hard Lord podcast. The other half of that podcast, Colin Young over here, they had such a dynamic and charismatic presence on screen together. I loved all their little clips together. Although I wasn't a regular watcher, they were very much the integral fabric in whatever the hell it is I do here on the internet. And the news of Bo's passing was a shock heard around the world. Everybody was so sad. I've never seen the hardcore community all come together so much, so hard for the love of one person before. It was absolutely beautiful to see, and I really wish we didn't have to see it. Obviously, it was the saddest thing I ever talked about on this channel this year, let alone all time. But the story I'm about to talk about today might be my favorite story that I ever talked about this year or of all time. But I really wish I didn't have to talk about it. But Bo Lueders got the coolest and best send-off in the history of the human race, and I'm not even using hyperbole here. That is just the brass tacks facts of it all, folks. And we're just gonna go through it. Because this weekend, I had such an emotional reaction to this, and I was not expecting it. I didn't see these pictures. I saw the last pictures in today's slide first. But for storytelling purposes, we gotta go all the way to the very front of Bo Lueders' last ride. And that's gonna be him here with Colin and this lady depicted. I'm so sorry, I don't know who she is. I didn't do that much research. This is a very emotional time. But you got Colin Young, his best friend and podcast partner, wearing the Bo Lueders memorial shirt with Undertaker's iconic old school classic urn with Bo inside of it. Already we're off to such an iconic start. Bo would love this. This would mean so much to him. He's looking down being like, holy fuck. I'm at WrestleMania. Holy fuck, I'm in Undertaker's urn. This is absolutely a mind-blowing experience. And I think it all came together because of this gentleman right here, who was the World Heavyweight Champion at the time, CM Punk. Now, last time CM Punk had an Undertaker urn in his hand, he was being very disrespectful to Undertaker during a WrestleMania build. But Bo Lueders' passing hit CM Punk so hard, and CM Punk is a part of that fabric. He's a part of that community. He's a part of that friend group or whatever. And to see CM Punk give Bo this kind of treatment, this kind of send-off, my God, dude. And not only to say all of that, but during one of CM Punk's biggest weekends of all time, and we're going to get to that very shortly. So you got Bo down here in Las Vegas at WrestleMania with his best friend in Undertaker's urn, all thanks to the World Heavyweight Champion, CM Punk. That was a real sentence. That's something that actually happened. God damn it. And you can tell by this picture over here of Colin that he is just absolutely emotionally going through it. This is such a surreal moment for him, I'm sure, because Colin, I'm not sure if you're aware of any of this, but he's also a trained wrestler. He also gets in the ring, he takes some bumps. I'm not sure how much he's doing it these days or whatever, but he was coming up alongside Brody King back in the day before Brody King had to dedicate more of his time to professional wrestling. Because also, if you're not aware, Brody King and Colin Young are members of the band God's Hate together. And we're going to be seeing a little bit of Brody King here in a little bit as well. And this shot over here of Bo right beside the World Heavyweight Championship, my God, dude, surreal, absolutely surreal. And I didn't know any of this was going down while it was happening, okay? All I saw was WrestleMania, and we're going to be getting into that entrance, that monumental CM Punk entrance in a little bit, because it pays so much respect to Bo as well, live on WrestleMania. It's so cool, but we're not there yet. Right now, we got CM Punk and Danielhausen right here with Bo Lueders. And also, Danhausen back here is a part of that friend group. You'll also see him out of makeup, out of character, hanging out with all these guys. And then they took Bo on a Las Vegas spree. There they are, gambling, running the slots or whatever. Get Bo out there with some showgirls, why not? Have a time. You're in Las Vegas. What stays in Vegas goes on Instagram and lives forever, okay? And then we get the man of the hour, too sweet to be sour, Brody King, Mr. Abolish Ice himself, one of the biggest wrestlers over there in the competitor of WWE, AEW, and here he is out there in Las Vegas during WrestleMania weekend with Bo Lueders, because this means so much to him as well. Unfortunately, we don't get any pictures of Brody King inside the WrestleMania arena, but getting Brody King down there during Las Vegas WrestleMania is a whole other crazy surreal thing that this whole situation has brought on. And then here they are feeding him ice cream. So friggin' cute and heartwarming. Jesus Christ. And do I have to remind you, it's the Undertaker urn, the classic one. And then we get the group shot, and then this is goosebumps right here, ladies. Holy crap, look at this shot of the urn with Bo on the stage of WrestleMania before it all kicks off or whatever. This thing is amazing. What a shot. And I'm such a sentimental guy. I am such a sap for this kind of stuff. And on top of all that, I am such a mark for CM Punk. Now, normally, I'm not like a big fan of things. Sure, I appreciate stuff. Yeah, I respect a lot of artists and I admire a lot of work and that kind of stuff. But there's something about CM Punk that turns me into a fangirl for some reason. I don't know what it is. You can go into the psychology of it, I guess, or whatever. But CM Punk is the only entity on planet Earth that makes me react the way that girls did when I was a teenager to the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, okay? I've been following CM Punk's career since before WWE, okay? This guy's whole arc, this guy's whole trajectory, this guy's whole 6-year story that he's been telling over here is something that I've been deeply invested in since the very moment that I saw this guy take his first bump. CM Punk is like the dirty parking lot kid outside of a 7-Eleven, that greasy dude that you don't trust or whatever. That's CM Punk. He should have never made it. This guy was the ne'er-do-well of all ne'er-do-wells. He was such a lost soul, but he found straight edge. He found punk. He found hardcore, and he had a girlfriend that put it all together for him and was like, just be a straight edge dickhead in wrestling and it's gonna work. And after all these things came together, yeah, it started to work. Nobody could talk people into a building like CM Punk. Now, I'm not gonna turn this into a big CM Punk glaze fest. I could go forever. But his story plays so much into why this weekend was so cool for Bo Lueders. Not only was CM Punk never supposed to make it, but he did make it. And then once he made it into the WWE, he was never supposed to be champion. Then he became champion. But he was never supposed to become the face of the company. He was never supposed to be the main event of WrestleMania, and that was his biggest goal, was to be a main event of WrestleMania. So before he could get that final goal, things got really sour with WWE and he had to leave forever. If you know the story, you know the story, but he spit vitriol towards WWE for like 10 years straight. After 7 years of being completely away from the business, he signed with AEW, and there is where he met Brody King and Danhausen and got tight with that side of the hardcore punk community. You see how all of this is tying together now? But back in the day, in the early 2000s, before any of that drama went down, CM Punk used to come out to the song Miseria Cantare by the band AFI. Now, I don't know what it was in the air, but there might have been a rumor going around, but I was like, oh my God, WrestleMania is gonna have CM Punk come out to Miseria Cantare, which was his ROH theme song, tying this whole story together, because now CM Punk is the main event of WrestleMania. Last year, he was the main event of night 1, which is still technically a main event. This year, CM Punk is getting the last entrance of the entire weekend. This is the ultimate version of the goal that he was never supposed to get all the way back then. Miseria Cantare hits Sunday night. You get all these shots of CM Punk, that teenage snot-nosed guy that was never supposed to make it, the straight-edge guy that was never supposed to make it. And now, coming out to AFI, the last entrance of the entire weekend, we got CM Punk over here. And what do you notice when you see CM Punk fulfilling his ultimate goal of all time? Bo Lueders' name front and center on this guy's chest. This guy made it his mission to pay as much respect as he possibly could to his fallen brother, Bo Lueders. I'm sure that this moment means so much to everybody who Bo meant so much to, because not only does CM Punk come down to that old AFI song from way back in the day, realizing his ultimate goal, full circle moment 100%, paying respect to his fallen dog Larry, paying respect to his fallen brother Bo Lueders, coming out to the stage, Miseria Cantare, cuts, it goes silent so CM Punk can just stand there and soak it in. He's just marveling all this with the Harley Race crown on the back, just soaking it in. You did it, buddy. And I was fucking flipping out, man. I was marking out like I never did before, okay? This was the Bo Lueders moment coming together with the CM Punk moment. Two huge emotional things going on in my interests right now, just hitting me in the face without me even really expecting it, okay? And here was CM Punk, WrestleMania, final fucking entrance of the weekend. The music cuts and there he is, just listening to the crowd, soaking it all in. I'm jumping around this room going, you son of a bitch! You fucking goddamn son of a bitch! You did it! For all us people that are told we're never gonna do it, you son of a bitch! I was very, very stoked. And then to have that Bo Lueders attachment to it as well was absolutely surreal. I would have never expected that in a million years. And it gets better than that, ladies and gentlemen, because all the close-ups, it's front and center right there. Bo Lueders, along with other names on his sleeve that also mean a whole lot to CM Punk. I gotta make that very clear. But this is a Bo Lueders video. And then the close-ups of it, and then Michael Cole on commentary says the name Bo Lueders, says that he was the guitar player for the rock band Harm's Way. Bo Lueders and Harm's Way got shouted out during WrestleMania. And not only during WrestleMania, during CM Punk's most important moment of all time. Fucking mind-blowing, dude. And had this passing of Bo Lueders happened earlier, CM Punk would have paid the same sort of respect to it, I'm sure. But because he's the World Heavyweight Champion, he's main eventing WrestleMania, he's the final entrance, and Bo Lueders is right there with him. WrestleMania lives on in history forever. This is a forever moment now. It is etched, completely immortalized in WrestleMania history. Bo, you will never be forgotten now. Bo, you have a place in wrestling history, in everybody's history, in all of our hearts, in millions and millions and millions of people now know your name that didn't know it before WrestleMania, and I think that that is so fucking cool. Again, I wish it never happened. I would much prefer to tune into the next episode of Hard Lore, but as far as a send-off goes, as far as a last ride is concerned, how can you get any better than this? It's gonna take a hell of a last ride to top this one. CM Punk's story is like almost a 30-year story, and it's being bundled with this cathartic kind of closure moment for all of Bo's fans and everybody close to him. It's crazy, dude. It's crazy. And as somebody that has lost so many people very close to me, seeing this kind of respect just shows me the soul, shows me the heart, shows me the compassion that entire communities possess. And it's in these moments that it comes to the surface, that you realize, hey, maybe sometimes when I'm feeling hopeless and at the very bottom, there is actually a light at the end of the tunnel. It isn't that bad out there, and there is an entire community of people ready to prop one another up. It is really bad out there. Don't get me wrong. It is that bad out there. But there is really beautiful, wholesome, tremendous, worthwhile moments that still exist on this planet. This one was for Bo. This one was for Bo. Bo for life. All right, that's going to be the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching it. Comment down below what you think of this entire situation. Until my next upload, watch another upload. Okay, goodbye, see you later, and have a good one.